Look, mister,
You.
I did it! I'm
A Skyrim YouTuber.
and I owe it all to you. See? It's just a regular
Challenge run.
but I attached a couple of extra
Rules.
to the back. Kind of like the ones in the back of your... Oh, damn it!
It is said that the first chapter in the legend of Skyrim begins with a sleepy prisoner,
Finally awake.
on their way to inherit one rusty axe straight to the neck. But this is not our story. Our story begins at the icy docks of Windhelm. Merchants and sailors away their anchors to make commerce of cargo, sharing stories over an open hearth, trading tales over a mug of mead. Meanwhile, the Lassatilian labourers traipse the frozen wharf, their back-breaking toil the only thing keeping the frost from their veins. And it is amongst the serpent-like serfs that we meet our heroine, named for the sobriquet of her ancestor, lifts her tale, the star of Tamriel's most famous book. So lustful for social reform, so Argonian for racial equality, so made for gold. And it is with this scaly succubus that we aim to answer the question, can you play Skyrim as the Lusty Argonian Maid? The concept is simple. Play through the game using only inheritance. But having no family, all I've ever inherited in life is my name and good looks. My woeful wages all just go straight back to the cost of renting a bunk here each night, with just enough left to scrape together a single meal for the day. And it's not just me.
We're used to getting by on scraps, but the Shatter Shields want everything for nothing. My people are not slaves.
But since we have Jarl Ulfric rather than Jarl Marx, we cannot unionize and are trapped in a life of servitude. What is a girl to do? No, I will not succumb to such a life. When my great-grandmother earned her place in the annals of history, it was because she was dissatisfied with simply lusting for a better life. So she went out and took one. I assume I've never read it myself, but I can think of no other reason why the book would be called that. I too shall set off, become a woman of great standing, and use my power to secure a better life for my people. You don't say. I arrive at the nearby town of Kynesgrove. If I was going to start inheriting soon, I'd need to target the old and the sick, so I pick a fight with this dribbling alcoholic. It appears I've entered Epstein's tavern, as everyone inside gleefully watches along as I assault a miner. My soft, sensual hands have left this man wanting more, so he commits to travelling by my side. Soon he would ask for my hand in marriage, and what is his shall be mine. We travel the road, and yet Roggy holds back. We clear some ruins, and yet Roggy holds back. Such resistance. I would have to keep an eye out for other prospective partners. We reach Shaw's Stone, which has been dyed red by my starving belly. Since Roggy was stubbornly clinging to the single life, I try my hand with this geriatric blacksmith, who wants me to clear his mind of spiders.
They'll come out of the mine looking for food soon.
That sounds dangerous, so I woo this guard into doing it for me. Flinjar is pleased, but shows no sign of making me his scaly spouse. This is most ungood. We limp to Iverstead in hopes of inheriting a meal, but instead I am the meal. So we press on. We reach Helgen, and my hunger is so great that I begin to hallucinate. Everyone here has been burned to death and too crispy to eat, so onward to Riverwood. On arrival, I discover a lover's quarrel and immediately ruin Feindal's life.
That's strange. He's never written to me before.
Without his lady love, he would need to find a new lady to love. Me. It doesn't work. He just hates me.
After everything you've done?
At this point, I'm about ready to gnaw off my own tail, but I need it to give men something to chase. I meet the Jarl, who confirms that the dragon I saw earlier was very real, and tasked me to steal a tablet from an old tomb. Roggy carves his way through the undead, and I feel his staggering levels of simpishness willing him on. With every swing of his two-handed masculinity, I sense his desire for me grow. But I'm beginning to think he lacks the confidence to make his move. That savage beating clearly left a mark on sweet Roggy. Poor sweet Roggy. I take this claw, get the stone, and return to the Jarl. Instead of making me Mrs. Balgruff and letting me loose on this banquet, he sends me to kill a dragon. I agree, because at this point I'm nothing but bones, and long for the sweet release of the beast's fiery maw. The battle with the dragon is an epic struggle, a clash for the ages. I assume I hid in the tower until the guards killed it. The dragon dies and I inherit its soul. Sadly, souls contain 0 calories, but it does allow me to channel my pain into an angry scream. On my return, I am rewarded with 1 Thane ship, 1 lady, and 0 food. Why must I suffer so? I decide that if I'm to make Roggy mine, I'd need to take some initiative. We return to the place his passions peaked. Oh, my rugged, regal Roggy. You're so big and strong, keeping little old me safe from danger. I wish there was some way I could repay you. Perhaps you could go home and think of something. He heads home, but all the blood has left his brain and he doesn't see the... Oh, what a tragic accident. I can't believe he's gone. How will I carry on?
I've been looking for you.
Looking? For me?
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Well, if it's a package you've got, I guess it's something I'm ready to receive.
Let's see here. I've got a letter and a lot of gold.
Gold? It couldn't be.
Something about it being your, inheritance. Oh, and sorry for your loss.
Yes, loss. Sweet Roggy. Poor sweet Roggy. It seems that simping alone was enough to have him write me into his will. I craft myself some warm clothes, drown my sorrows in delicious cabbage soup, and rejoice at the return of the full spectrum of colour. I could not rest though. Roggy's sacrifice was already spent, and it would not be long before the red mist returned. I would have to act fast. I return to Sven, and take him to the most romantic spot that I know. I can't believe this has happened. There was no way I could have foreseen this. Rest in peace, Sven. Gone too soon. 2 terrible losses in quick succession. I would surely need counselling. Well, there's no therapy like retail therapy. I make myself a little knife, and buy a nice book that isn't really relevant, so don't worry about that. As I tend to my succulent stew, I simmer upon a thought. Seemingly, it takes little more than a kind deed to endear myself into an endowment. I should therefore be travelling the land, performing such kindnesses far and wide for as many men as possible. Heck, women too, I'm not picky. After all, Skyrim is a dangerous place. People pass on all the time. Pass on gold to me, that is. As if to make my point, our old friend Flinyar is eaten by a bear. It's how he would have wanted to go out. Tears will be shed, gold will be shared. Lydia and I arrive at Darkwater Crossing and take on the job of killing some bandits, a task that Lydia will perform and I will take credit for. Lydia bonks her way through the cave until we meet the mighty Bandit Thug. The thug life proves too much for Lydia, meaning I have to step up. I summon a mighty scream. Oh. Shout, stab, run. Shout, stab. Phew. Poor brave Lydia. I didn't want it to end this way. No, I really didn't. Since she caught one of my strays, I don't even get an inheritance. An important lesson learned. I head out in search of more friends, and meet Goldir. Goldir wishes to safeguard his family tomb, protecting their legacy. And legacy is a kind of inheritance. Very admirable. We fight through the tomb, and bond over our shared love of inherited wealth. We head into a cave, and he shares with me how bad he is at spotting spiked death traps. And I share with him my other passion, pulling mysterious levers. Somehow this shockingly ends in his... Somehow this shockingly ends in his death. Oh, unavoidable. He could not have been saved. A calamity indeed. Luckily, there's another friend to be made in this cave, and I share my special interest with him. He must have done something to trigger the trap and is killed. A fate unavoidable, truly the will of the divines. Rest now, brethren, unburdened by worldly woes and the weights of wealth.
I've got a letter.
I return to Annika, and she offers to take Lydia's place. As we travel, she informs me that those who seek marriage must indicate their intention by wearing the Amulet of Mara. So we head to Riften and buy one, stopping to help Alessandra with the delivery. We stumble across an old cave wherein Annika fights a ghost. This drives her to madness, believing that she too may be a ghost, and walks through a wall. The stress of travel must be getting to her, so I send her home.
I'll head back home if you need me.
So young, so full of life. Oh, why do bad things always happen to good people? Sad.
I've been looking for you.
Inheritance.
Something I'm supposed
I less sad. I make some food, deliver the dagger to Anders, and gift a cabbage to Pelagio, before returning to the tried and true method of making friends by throwing hands.
Now that's what I call a punch.
We are now bonded. Best friends. A lifetime of adventure awaits us. Songs will be sung of our journeys. I can't believe that this keeps happening. Wait, what's this house key? I mean, I guess I should make sure her house is tidy for the next owner. I can't help but notice that nothing is marked as stealing. This can only mean one thing. Uthgerd has bequeathed her home and worldly possessions to me, as well as just the gold. All this food, mine. All these sellable trinkets, mine. I was now Thane of Whiterun, slayer of dragons, and owner of a nice little semi-detached. Undeniably a woman of good standing, with influence enough to convince Old Man Shattershield to start paying my people a fair wage. I arrive in Windhelm and am stopped by this racist drunk.
You a dark elf lover?
I beat him senseless, which is apparently his kink. There he is. I march right up to Old Man Shattershield to give him a piece of my mind.
Please forgive my mood. I'm still coming to terms with my daughter's death.
His child is dead. Murdered. Well, this has really taken the wind out of my sails. But could bringing him comfort be the leverage I need to secure better wages?
I've been looking for an amulet of RK to remind my wife that our child is with the gods now.
I locate an amulet, but upon my return, I discover that there's been another murder in the streets. Another woman, carved up so bad that she's completely despawned. This is most ungood. The women of this city already have it bad enough without the added threat of a knife in the shadows. I return to Old Man Shattershield and convince him to pay the Argonians a fair wage.
Well, my friend, if you think those boots need more coin, I'll make it happen.
Finally, my dream of equity was complete. But with all these murders going on, I cannot rest yet. I investigate the deaths that have so far stumped the great minds of the Windhelm PD. I muster up a singular brain cell and use it to follow a literal trail of blood leading up to this suspicious house, the inside of which is filled with corpses, a sacrificial altar, and this amulet. The amulet appears to belong to the court wizard. Case closed, citizens safe. From this I have learned two things. One, the guards here are as dumb as a pack of trolls. And two, it is really easy to get away with murder. On a totally unrelated note, I get engaged to this homeless beggar, a man who would go totally unnoticed should he suddenly disappear.
At least we'll have each other.
True love at last. I enter the temple and stride gleefully up to the altar. We wed in the company of our one friend, the kinky racist, and decide that we will live together at his place.
You can always stay with me.
Yeah, good one, mate. I hope the gutter is big enough for the both of us. On the road back to Windhelm, Rolf the racist is killed by a spider. Very unsad. Thanks for the cash, you will not be missed. I visit my new spouse's home, the pub. Oh, I underestimated you, Angranor. Perhaps you won't be disappearing mysteriously after all. It would seem that nobody set the boundaries of what part of the pub belongs to Angranor. This means that I've now inherited everything inside these walls, up to and including the food off the plates of customers. This is fantastic news. May I never hunger again. With my initial goal completed and the city now saved, I travel to meet the Greybeards that they may enlighten me as to what all this dragon business is all about. As it turns out, I am the hero of prophecy, a legendary entity with the power of dragons, destined to stop the ending of the world. This is amazing news. With my newfound godlike power, I can free the oppressed from their bonds across the entirety of Skyrim. Perhaps even all of Tamriel. But spreading revolutionary ideals is dangerous work, and it would take more than my sensual charms to keep me safe. I would need a bodyguard, one that would protect me from all dangers, and preferably not die in a freak accident. Yes, someone strong and powerful, who could best any foe. That's why I choose Mjol. Another unpreventable death, rest in peace. I start my noble quest by uplifting those with the least.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Finally. Now get lost.
A gold septim, some choice wisdom, and the valiant vagrants begin their crusade against their wealthy oppressors. Surely the good citizens will quickly follow suit. They do not. Sadly, righteousness and rags are no match for cold steel, so this ends badly.
No sign of him.
Oh,
I've been looking for you.
for me?
Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
How unexpected.
I've got a letter and a lot of gold. Something about it being your, inheritance.
Such a waste of time preaching to the poor. If they're that hungry, they should just grow some food or something.
My failure to rally the working class lies in a simple truth. The townsfolk, whilst indeed oppressed, remain apathetic due to their perceived stability in this unstable world. They live comfortably in their walled cities, safe from the dangers of the outside. If they were ever to rise up, then that safety would first have to be called into question. A call that was immediately answered by Windhelm. Another corpse in the streets. It appears that our killer is still at large. A panic sweeps the people. Terror reigns. Mistrust grows. In a fearful frenzy, my own husband, for whom the streets are his sanctuary, lashes out, attacking the city watch. As my spouse falls, I stretch out my loving hand, but I'm carrying too much static and he perishes. I mourn his loss. How can I possibly carry on?
I've been looking for you.
Inheritance? I guess I'll just have to keep going, day by day.
The butcher could be around any corner.
Paranoia reaches a fever pitch, and before long, eyes begin to turn to the father of the first victim.
Please forgive my mood. I'm still coming to terms with my daughter's death.
A man of great power and wealth. A wealth wasted, drowning his sorrows in mead. He does not care for the city's inhabitants. He is not using his affluence to help save them. He couldn't even save his own daughter. Then comes a new whisper. Perhaps there's a more sinister explanation. Perhaps he drowns not his grief, but his guilt. Perhaps a father slays a child. By design or mistake we cannot be certain, and he cannot forget. And what he cannot forget, he must recreate. Perhaps, in his drunken stupor, he strikes again at the first innocent within arm's reach of his infirmary of inebriation, each life taken driving him back to the bottle. It doesn't take much for the rumor to spread, for suspicion to sharpen into certainty, and for certainty to strike justly. Torbjorn is slain, and the city breathes a sigh of relief. Oh, never mind. It was this dude all along. Sorry, Torbjorn. Oh, some gold. How unexpected.
Got to go.
With Torbjorn dead and his family in deep mourning, control of his company passes to my oldest friend, Scouts Many Marshes. I find business acquisition to be a very attractive quality in a man.
Is that Lady Mara's amulet? I'm shocked a fine person like you isn't married already.
I propose a union, and he cannot resist my voluptuous idealism and caked-up social values. Our wedding day arrives, and we are bonded in the eyes of Mara, surrounded by loved ones. But tragedy strikes. I had become so swept up in Reformation that I had failed to notice that many of my followers were not lusting to seize the means of production, but instead lusting to seize these cheeks. Most of those present are not loved ones, but lust ones. Seeing these sweet rolls taken off the market drives them into a murderous frenzy. Lucian, gone too soon. Anders, cut down in his prime. My new husband, driven into a jealous furor. My dear Scoutsy Poo, our time together is now but a frayed strand in the tapestry of what could have been.
Congratulations on your wedding. I'm so happy for both of you.
Oh, such grief that I feel. Nothing could ease this pain. Inheritance. My pain eases. I vow never to marry again, for I cannot bear the pain of another such loss. And definitely not because the marriage mod I installed broke. I craft a new armor, a reflection of my now armored heart, shielded from the pain of romance. My plan to destabilize the power of the elites was working, but I could not wait on the arrival of more serial killers. I must take matters into my own hands, with a 3-step process. 1. Endear myself to the ruling and working class alike, placing me above suspicion for any foul play. 2. Tragedy befalls the key pillars of commerce and resource. trade tycoons, crippling their monopolies and disrupting supply chains. Produce profiteers, reclaiming land and destabilizing food supply. Mineral magnates, redistributing wealth and weakening arms production. 3. The townsfolk strike out at the indifferent elites they deem responsible. Bonus, take a small fee.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Alright, let's fight the power.
I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Oh, gold. Oh, inheritance. Sorry for your loss. Gold. Oh, your hands only. Looks like gold. Oh, inheritance. Sorry for your loss. Gold. Oh, your hands only. Let's see here. I've got a letter. Oh, and I've got a letter. Oh, I've got a letter. And a lot of gold. Something about it being your, something about it being your, something about it being your, inheritance. And a lot of gold. Gold. Looks like, inheritance. Let's see. Looks like gold. Let's see. Your hands only. Looks like gold. That's it. Inheritance. That's it. Let's see. Gold. That's it. Your hands only. Gold. That's inheritance. Gold. That's inheritance. Gold. That's inheritance. Your hands only. Looks like gold. That's inheritance. Looks like gold. That's inheritance. Looks like gold. That's inheritance. Your gold. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Like clockwork, affinity is affirmed. Systems stall. Bourgeoisie bleed. Though just the ones with something to bestow upon me. Some money. How nice. Oh, and I guess the farms and mines too? Well, if somebody has to manage those estates. The wheels of oppression are grinding to a halt. But there are still some well-meaning workers greasing the gears. Sadly, they would have to go. Blacksmiths are keeping the city watch armed. To the observer, it would seem that the stress of output has broken them. The guards now need to bolster their force with mercenaries, though it would seem that adventuring has depleted their numbers. Priests quell their fears, claiming tragedy as divine will. This is my will. With each expiration, the bonds of tyranny have further frayed to a few fine filaments, and so far, the only person I see taking action is me. Every time I think the dominoes are about to fall, the people just go right back to their routines and lives. All of my machinations to bring about change, and yet they are content to suffer, like cattle to the slaughter. I should be enraged, seething, livid. Instead, an unexpected feeling washes over me. Apathy. Somewhere along this journey, the raging, revolutionary fire in my belly had been slowly snuffed by a blizzard of bequeathment. For every piece that fell from the board, my station increased. The mines bear me wealth. The farms fill my belly. I want for nothing, and yet still I strike only at those from whom I can benefit. The horrifying truth. The rush I was feeling was not from the lives I was bettering, but from the lives I was taking. Power through fear is fragile. Power through strength is fleeting. But power over the hearts and minds of mortals is intoxicating. Was this the power that my forebear attained? Is this my actual ancestral inheritance? Was this the true lust of the Argonian Maid? I must know. This is smut. The infamous tale of Lifts Her Tale is not one of a self-made maid, but a folio of filth. My name, my family's name, is a joke in all the halls of Tamriel, falling from the lips of both the genteel and the degenerate. The final twist of the inked dagger, she's hounded by an amorous aristocrat, protests his propositions, personifies professionalism, and yet they brand her lusty. Until now, I had stayed my scythe from the subjugated. No more. They have taken from me my dignity. I shall take from them everything. I give wood to Horgir and potatoes to Azada. They are struck with a wave of cognizance. Every day they chop the wood. Every day they cut the logs. The piles never get smaller. They will never get smaller. Their work will never end. Madness takes them. Mjol takes their life, and I take their estates. He died as he lived. I visit my old friend Stans in Shallows and fetch him some double-distilled skooma. Before he can drink, a chill runs through him and settles before his mind's eye. This bottle is unique. There will never be another. He has reached the vertex of his vice, a power to know the ultimate high that skooma can provide. But he can never know it again. The remainder of his existence would be spent in its shadow, chasing a peak impossible to summit. His mind splits. He is split. His net worth is split.
Looks like that's it.
I meet Lemkill and learn of his fear of dragon attacks. My presence causes his fear to spiral. In Skyrim, there are 22 dragon burial mounds, and yet here stands the Dragonborn having claimed the souls of twice that. The dragons would never stop. The attacks would never end. He strikes at his neighbours. Better to die by his hand than die in flames. He dies in flames. I commandeer his wooden sword and children's clothing. Children's clothing? Oh, a daughter.
Oh, hi.
I talk with her and she laments for her dead father.
My papa died and I'm all alone.
I feel an unexpected twisting sensation in my gut. There is nothing more I can do to help her, so I leave.
I may have entered into an agreement with Enther.
I acquire Ornmond his family heirloom, and he acquires a family funeral. A family who shall mourn him, friends who will shed tears for him. I meet Omulag and reduce his workload, and his life expectancy. Years of back-breaking labour, living in the slums, scrimping and saving for something better. A saving that now crosses my palm. A cold and heavy bag.
I've been looking for you.
Words that once brought the titillation of triumph now ensnared my conscience.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
The courier, a once trusted bearer of fruit, he now haunts me like a spectre.
Let's see here. I've got a letter and a lot of gold.
Payment for this ferryman too soon escorting the departed to the next life.
Oh, and sorry for your loss.
My loss? No, not my loss. I am faltering, so I envelop myself in the riches I once sought, but its embrace is cold and heavier still. My mind circles back to Britta. I think of that little girl, and in her I see myself. I see all the good people of Skyrim condemned to a life of hardship by powers beyond their control. All of them, just children, trying to make sense of a cruel world and the flawed system that maintains it. That same system that I blamed for my own hardship. Instead of fixing it, I merely replaced it. All those lives taken in the name of reform, now in the name of the thrill. Or perhaps it was always for the thrill. Once I was freed of my servile chains, was I still lusty for parity, or merely lusty for power? Was I still Argonian, or simply Argon to the dark side? Was I still a maid, or simply made to kill? This doesn't really make sense, but what does make sense is what must come next. I have wrought too much pain and harmed so many. I will never be seen as an exemplar of systemic change, but I can keep more children from ending up like Britta. The civil war that rages is tearing families apart, filling graveyards and orphanages alike. It ends with me. With my powers of persuasion, I will broker a peace between the Empire and the Stormcloaks.
Peace was never an option.
Okay then, I join the Imperial Army, as there's no way I'm siding with Nigel Farage and the Blue Klux Klan. I travel from fort to fort, securing victories for the Empire, thus saving many lives. But Mr. Schporg, don't these Stormcloaks have families? Children of their own? Our fight culminates in the city I once called home. Ulfric falls, ending his dreams of Nord supremacy. The war ends, and there shall be peace.
I don't expect there to be any further violence.
But this cannot be a world of peace if there is no world. Alduin still casts a shadow. The World Eater comes, and with him the end of all things. This undertaking would bring me to the far corners of this land, test me beyond measure. It would take many battles and countless hours of exhilarating footage to defeat Alduin. I defeat Alduin. With the world now saved, I had one final wrong to right. I spend my ill-gotten wealth on a plot of land. I work the mines and the mills, and build a home worthy of a loving family. I journey to the Riften orphanage to find Britta, but instead meet her sister. Did not know she had a sister.
Yay! Thanks, Mama.
Turns out that Britta got left behind at Rorikstead. That's pretty messed up.
Yay! Thanks, Mama.
The girls now had residence, but a mother? After what I have done, I cannot be the mother they need. They need someone with a kind heart to love them, and a powerful hand to protect them.
I'm right behind you.
Jarl agrees to raise them. But who could be the father? Someone who would always be there for them, who would never shirk their duty, and was sorry for their loss.
I've been looking for you.
And I, for you. As for me, I take up residence in the halls of the dead, attending to the deceased and ensuring their final dignities are met. Every now and then, the body of an innocent would cross my table, fallen to some bandit or criminal. It was no longer my business, of course. I am humbly devoted to the departed. But there are whispers amongst the merchants and sailors of a shadow lusting for justice. Stories shared over a mug of mead of a scaled maiden cleaning the streets of crime. I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Thank you for watching. The gameplay for this ended up being far less entertaining than I'd anticipated, so piecing together a narrative was the real challenge run here. Speaking of challenges, why not take part in the Mr. Schporg subscriber challenge that all the cool kids are doing? Just hit that subscribe button and stay following until the heat death of the universe to win. If that's too much of a commitment, then perhaps allow me to inherit a few likes on this video, or a comment about how acquiring homes and businesses was cheating. YouTube also has this hype feature on mobile app now, and since my channel is so small, every hype is worth thousands of points. You can do it up to 3 times, so it wouldn't take many of you to help push my channel into the spotlight. Thank you to everyone for sticking out the long waits between videos. It's hard to find time around my full-time job, but I promise to keep them coming. I'm Mr. Schporg, and until next time, ciao for now.